So today I'm finally talking to you guys about what I think about the police brutality that I see going on in America. It's not just the black people. So you've seen this one video where this old white man was pushed to the ground by the police. It's clear evidence, and this is what the police department had to say about this. They said, during the protest, one person was injured when he tripped and fell. Even with this video evidence, these police are ready to lie to protect their own people, and this is wrong. Above the police and above this police department goes Donald Trump, who's the highest level of government, and this is what he said about the old person. He said, I watched how this guy fell harder than he was pushed. Could it be a setup? So he's not even condemning the police department or the police. He's saying that, the victim, the guy who fell down, he probably was a setup. I'm like, really?
This unsettling image of an officer kicking a woman who was maced.
Police officer caught on camera pushing a woman who was demonstrating.
Salt Lake City police officer in full riot gear using his shield to push an elderly man with a cane. The man falls face first onto the ground.
The police know that they can do anything, it doesn't matter. And especially if they want to do it to black people, it's okay because you're all to protect it. And this is the issue that's going on. The police in America have way too much power. Nobody controls them, and they know this. A lot of people are now saying, the Black Lives Matter protests, they're so violent. Why can't people be peaceful? As if you haven't seen people being peaceful and the police come and they grab someone.
We all got bad days. We all got bad days. It cannot be illegal. What is that really doing? What is he doing? Come on.
And then they arrest him to make everybody else angry and then attack them, and they attack them, and now it's a violent protest.
Officer pulling a man's face mask off and spraying him with pepper spray.
It's a peaceful protest, and they take down his mask and they spray him with paper spray.
In Los Angeles, police swing batons at people who witnesses say were simply standing with their hands up.
And people are not going to get angry about that and fight back. The police are literally inciting violence that we look bad, and then we also include the white people who are actually helping us, which is really crazy because now it's just really the police just. So the bigger question is, why are the police allowed to get away with all the things that they do? We have seen how they've killed a black man live on camera. Without those cameras, they wouldn't have been charged because they would have lied about it, as you see them lying about many different things. And even when we know that they've been caught on camera, we know, given past evidence, that the police never get charged. They always get acquitted. They've killed a child. It's okay. They've killed a black woman. It's okay. They've killed a black man in front of his kids and his wife in the car. It's okay. This is exactly what the American justice system shows its police, and they keep doing it. So imagine what this says to the American people and the police about anything. In my own country, the police brutality is very real. I'm from Zimbabwe. I feel like many African countries, we can speak about this. We know what the police do. The police are ready there to beat you up, whether you're a woman, an old man. They do not care because they have an agenda, which is to protect the government who is in power. That's what we have. So in America, you've got to think about what is the big agenda going on. It might not be that, but there's always something going on, because how come they can just be allowed to do this? In my country, I've seen the women being beaten up. We know why, okay? Because the president doesn't seem to mind this. So we've got the president's party, and if any other party that comes, if they want to peacefully protest, he will allow the police to go and beat them up and kill them and abduct them, and they'll also lie. The media isn't safe.
Australian cameraman and reporter were shoved and hit while live on air.
Law enforcement seem to be targeting journalists.
I am press. Please.
Getting shot! I'm getting
On live TV.
Who were they aiming that at?
At us! Like directly at us!
And I love how America is always talking about free speech, which is a great thing. Free speech is very, very important. In my own country, nobody's trying to, speak against the president unless, you got you got a death sentence, you don't mind dying for the cause. But in America, how can the police do that live on TV? They're not even scared of any repercussions because they know they're protected by whoever's protecting them, and this is who needs to be stopped, who is it Illuminati? I don't know. Stop Illuminati then. But I do love how the whole world has now come together and everybody is finding their own inequalities within their own countries and they're speaking out about them. And in the UK, we've had some statues in Bristol. One of the statues of a slave trader was put in the sea. It was not the sea, it was put in the river and stuff, because people don't want it there. They've been petitioning for a long time, and they don't seem to listen, so they just put it in the water. And some people are still complaining, that's the statue that we need. Really? slave trader statue. You really bothered about the slave trader statue. What you should have, I think, is the abolitionist statues, because I was watching Lincoln and I was just seeing and imagining just how hard it was for those white people who were in the government at that time to pass this law to stop slavery, because people were benefiting from it. Not just, even if they didn't think black people were unequal, they knew the economic benefits of slavery, and it was so hard for them to do this, but they still fought for our cause, and that should be something to be proud of, not slave trader statue. And I'm just like, why are people just so crazy? Like, people are really attached to like really bad things. But I think this whole thing is showing us it's not just about the police being brutal to black people. The police just don't care in general. They just have so much power, and that's the issue that is going on. There's too much power, and the government also doesn't seem to care about it, because Donald Trump is the government. Donald Trump is just literally inciting violence as well. And we saw these two white people who support Trump. They're reenacting George Floyd's death as a joke.
Staged a counter-protest just feet from the road. In this video shared with NBC 10, you can see a man kneeling on the chest of a person on the ground as they heckled those marching peacefully, using the words, "Black Lives Matter," to no one.
And this is, the funny thing is they got fired, which is great. However, it just shows that people are always going to do crazy things, but there should be laws put in place and consequences. And if you let people know that if you do bad things, there's no consequences, then this is what's going to happen to the American system. It's chill, because it's not necessary. And the killing of black people is not necessary. But people are always going to do that. People are always going to be murderers. You can't stop murderers and be like, don't murder anybody. If it's in your heart to murder someone, you're going to do it. But just knowing that there's a court sentence. If you tell somebody who's going to murder someone that there's no court sentence, then they're going to keep doing it. And that's exactly what's happening in America. They just don't seem to get these court sentences, and that's the biggest shock, because in my country, we get that right now. The government is in power, and that's what it does. But how can it be the same in America? Like, wow, my eyes are open. I think it's a good thing that this is showing, because everybody's getting this voice now. I've seen Australia talking about their own police brutality going on in Australia, people dying in custody, and it's like, it's 21st century, guys. We're not during slave trade times when you can lynch a black person live, in the street square. Nobody cares. You can't just kill a black person and think nothing's gonna happen. Like, people are not stupid, okay? Like, people actually care and know that everybody matters. Okay, we're not back in the day. I think the white race is also quite surprised when they see that people who are normal, when white, also don't approve of their behavior. Like, I think it must be like a big shock to them. And that's okay. I think it's a progressive thing. It will take time. It's not going to just happen tomorrow that nobody's racist anymore. But we must definitely teach our children all about equality, and hopefully then they won't become these people who are ready to kill black people. We won't have to worry about the law, because people will be normal.